What do I even say, man? What do I even say? I'm literally here right now after watching, and and my stream went down. So I was live to watch this card. We had a great time watching along. We did pretty good in our predictions, all things considered, especially on the prelims. And there was some very good fights on the later half of the prelims, some nasty knockouts that we'll talk about soon, as well as a generational 3-fight start to this pay-per-view card. 3 back-to-back brutal knockouts. And now I'm here reconsidering what I'm doing with my life. Why am I here on a 4 p.m. on a Sunday watching this sport, watching my GOAT JDM get fucking smudged by Islam Makhachev, dude? I'm up in the switch. I'm chinning every white belt I can get my fucking hands on. I'm knocking out my neighbor with a fucking head kick. I'm done, dude. I'm fucking done. It's time for something new. Islam Makhachev went out there, landed really nice calf kicks. Those were a very smart addition to use against a boxer like JDM. Took away that southpaw stance from him, which I'm not really sure why JDM was so insistent on being southpaw. I feel like his best weapons are as an orthodox fighter, but he didn't really go to that. He started off southpaw, super aggressive early on, touching the body, using his jab. Islam started to land the calf kick, and as soon as he got the first takedown, ended up in top on half guard. And trust me, that's a theme I've seen a lot on this fucking pay-per-view. That was supposed to be a generational pay-per-view. This was supposed to be different. This was supposed to be a great night. But instead, I watched half guard for 50 fucking minutes uninterrupted. Because the rest of this fight, JDM gets taken down. He does okay on the free. Okay, does a little bit. Gets hit with a calf kick, switches stances. Lands a nice little combo in the pocket. Taken down again, controlled from the top half. One thing I will give JDM credit for in this fight. First and foremost, he did okay in the pocket in the little moments that he decided to strike. But he shot a takedown in the second round and ended up on the bottom and just got controlled completely at the rest of that round when I thought he was doing good to start and kind of change the momentum of the fight. And from that point on, it was basically every single round JDM would come out there, get hit with a calf kick, turn orthodox, land a nice combo, get taken down off a double leg by Islam Makhachev. The first round, Islam landed a really nice single leg on him, tripped him down to his butt. We saw Gilbert Burns get a similar takedown against him. I wasn't sweating it, dude. I wasn't sweating it. I was like, hey, listen, we throw away that first round. And then the second round, all right, we throw away that second round. It doesn't even matter, dude. We're winning by 48-47 decision. Then the third round hits, bro. And I'm sitting here recording, like, waiting for my live reaction to the KO. And I just realized I have 25 minutes on my computer of me just staring at the screen like this. Oh, nice. Good defense, nice. Nice. I just have 25 minutes of that on my computer right now on my hard drive. Just me just sitting there like this. Just thinking, what am I doing with my life, man? And it's so sad, too, because these fucking Dagestani fans, dude, they're gonna come in, they're gonna act like JDM was a bum or some shit, when this is literally the best win Islam has gotten in over a fucking year. Nobody else is doing that to JDM. People are saying, oh, put him Shavkat now, put him... Shavkat is not doing that to JDM. Ian Gary is not doing that to JDM. It is because Islam Makhachev is that fucking good. He just tied Anderson Silva's win streak. He proved that he has the size and the strength to be a seriously dominant welterweight. He managed to take down JDM, which other fighters have managed to do, but the difference is he managed to control him. And JDM did a good job defending the submissions, not being put in those Darce choke attempts or the Kimura. He did a really good job preparing for those, but he did not prepare to get back up from underneath a massive welterweight like Islam Makhachev. And that's what it came down to. He couldn't get back up. Islam controlled him really well, laid on him, smudged him, had him pinned down in the half guard, took his back a couple of times as well when JDM tried to get up. But yeah, JDM, listen, the kid looked bone dry tonight. That's all there is to say. Very disappointed. I don't know how anyone can be like, listen, I understand being an Islam fan. I like Islam. But how can you be happy watching that? That's boring as fuck, dude. I wanted some fucking excitement, man. I wanted a fucking scrap. Because like I said, this was a generational pay-per-view. And then these two fights hit, bro. A second just 50-45 boring decision has hit the fucking tower type shit. Here goes one more. Here's another smudge fest from fucking half guard. Where Valentina Shevchenko, and I don't even know whether I blame her more or Wei Li Zhang in this fight, right? Because it's the same with JDM Islam. I kind of blame JDM for not getting back up. He tried his best on the feet. He tried to land some good moments. He had a good moment in round 2 or 3 where he just really fucking unloaded the clip in the pocket. You know what I mean? His coaches were trying to fucking hype him up. I really felt like a Leon fan watching this. I was like, man, I hope my boy can fluke this after getting destroyed for 4 rounds. Like, that's how I felt. So I feel a relation, a heartfelt connection now to the Leon fans. Watching that 5th round, watching the coach, come on, Jack, you gotta fucking fluke him. I was like, yeah, let's fucking fluke this guy. But it didn't happen, right? And we got 2 of these back-to-back. Basically, Weili Zhang went in there, couldn't really land anything. The reach disadvantage really played against her. And she ended up in that clinch with Valentina Shevchenko, and she just got taken down from the body lock way too easily. She just got... Valentina would get hands together, turn her, take her down, control her from the top half guard, land some little punches, little elbows. You can see the difference in strikes and significant strikes. This was one of the worst title fights I've ever seen. Honestly, 2 of them back-to-back is fucking crazy. 2 Chimaev DDPs back-to-back is absolutely fucking wild. And it's pretty disappointing, man, because like I said, the rest of this card was great. Valentina Shevchenko just laid on Zhang Weili. We all agreed and booed and hated on her. But for some reason, now those same people will be glazing the fuck out of Islam. And listen, that is impressive from Islam. Let me go back to this, because I'm not trying to discredit him at all. This is a good win. I was wrong. You were right. That's it. JDM is a very good defensive grappler, defensive scrambler. He showed his ability to defend the takedowns, but he just couldn't get back up. Islam just controlled him way too good. Islam is just too good on the grappling. That's it, right? The striking was close and competitive. Islam had that calf kick. I think that was a really masterful kind of addition to the game plan here. I felt like he would use more kicks to the body and the head, but we weren't prepared for that calf kick. He landed that calf kick on us a couple of times. And listen, the only thing that makes me so mad watching this, it's not the Dagestani fans that have no life. I don't really care. Dude, it is listening to fucking Joe Rogan on commentary. That calf is completely done, man. Islam just destroyed it. Oh my fucking God. Listening to Joe Rogan on commentary talking about, you know, if I was in Jack's corner, I'd tell him, go orthodox, your leg's completely fucked. I fucking hate Joe Rogan, dude. But yeah, congrats to Islam. Wins by decision dominantly in the grappling. Same with Valentina Shevchenko. Not really that much in the striking. She did land her right hand a couple of times. I don't want to completely take away what she's done, but she was mainly relying on that clinch game, getting takedowns, controlling Weili Zhang. Weili, similar to JDM, just couldn't get up, just stuck on bottom half guard. You know, and it's a little bit, it makes a little bit more sense because Weili's a little bit smaller than Valentina Shevchenko. It looked a lot smaller in this fight, but it was pretty much the same story, right? The body lock, the takedown, the half guard top control, the threat of a submission kind of preventing you from moving up and scrambling up. I think that was a big thing with JDM, and with Weili here, I think she just got outsized. So basically, with these 2 fights, you just missed 50 minutes of half guard. If you didn't enjoy watching these fights, you are actually a casual, because we had to sit through the rest of these finishes to get to these 2 masterclasses. It's so frustrating, bro, because literally this card was shaping up to be a generational pay-per-view. This was a fucking hood classic before these 2 main events happened. And it is cool to see, you know, I would have liked to see Weili Zhang also become double champion if Islam had to win. But, you know, it's cool to see a double champion, and we've got some fresh new things going on at welterweight. I think JDM's going to be fine moving forward. He's not even 30 years old. But we get to see some fun fights like Islam versus, you know, Shavkat at some point when Shavkat actually shows up to fight. You know, Islam versus some of these other guys that won on this card. But the 2 main events, like the Cohen main event, were just so boring. And it's so disappointing because no one will understand that this is not cope. This is just facts. This card was a fucking 8 out of 10. Borderline a 9 out of 10, and it dropped down to like a 6.5. 6.5, 6 out of 10 in terms of entertainment value. Because these 3 fights, first and foremost, rest in peace, Sean Brady, brother. I feel so bad for Sean Brady. He literally had a title shot guaranteed. The title shot was promised to this man. The title shot was promised to this man. And he said, yeah, sure, I'll fight Michael Morales, who's coming out of the Apex, and he's a fucking mutant of 170. And he just goes out there. He literally cannot get a takedown. He's too far away. Morales is in a low stance. He's a fucking mutant, right? Brady's trying to blitz him with the double jab. As soon as Morales landed that right hand and he felt comfortable to start blitzing uppercuts and hooks, he just had Brady wobbled badly twice in a row. And the last time that he rocked him, he got a right hand next to the temple. Brady kind of went all stiff. And Morales just followed up, dropped him, followed with the ground and pound, gets the finish in the first round. Extremely, extremely impressive when you consider the fact that, number one, Sean Brady, the only other person to beat him was Bilal Muhammad, via standing TKO, and Brady was winning that fight. It was competitive back and forth. Bilal Muhammad, obviously the former champion, the generational talent, 9 fights in a row. That JDM absolutely fucking destroyed 1 fight ago. Sean Brady got finished by him and nobody else, and now Michael Morales comes along, absolutely steamrolls him. The thing about Michael Morales that is so dangerous is his frame. Like, we still haven't seen him really tested. We haven't really seen him go to like a round 2 or a round 3 where someone's shooting takedowns or mixing things up or able to physically get to him without getting rocked. So I think that this guy definitely, if Ian Gary loses to Bilal Muhammad, mark my words, we will be getting Michael Morales versus Islam Makhachev, which is just such a weird title fight. Does that make sense? That sounds weird to me. That sounds like a fight that should never be made, but it could possibly be next because, like I said, I think if Bilal Muhammad locks Ian Gary out of that title #1 contendership, we will probably get Islam versus Morales, right? But I think if Ian Gary beats Bilal Muhammad, he could probably jump both of these guys and be like, listen, I've beat Carlos Prates. I dominated the champion. I'm going in there to fight Islam. And we get the fake Khabib versus Conor 2.0 story. Like, I definitely could see that happening. But as it stands right now, Michael Morales destroys Sean Brady, nukes him on the chin with a right hand, follows up, finishes him via ground and pound. Very impressive finish. And I think he should be the #1 contender if nothing else changes in the division. Very impressive victory. But we got to pour one out for the boy Leon Edwards. If you're a Leon Edwards fan making fun of me right now that JDM lost, hold this for me, brother. Hold this for me, brother. Because Leon Mumble Mouth Scott, bro, I wasn't knocked out, bro. I was fucking sleepy, bro. So you saw me smiling, bro. Carlos Prates flatlines Leon Edwards in round 2 by knockout. Exactly as we predicted in the prediction video. I thought that Leon Edwards would be pretty good on the feet early on. He did a good job with his outside leg kicks, with his jab, and mixed in a couple of takedowns that actually worked really well against Prates. He got a takedown up against the fence, got back control on Prates, ended up kind of climbing on his back for a little bit at one point. Prates did a good job with the 2-on-1 grip, kind of Anthony Smith Max, kind of emo, and just being like, what is this guy doing? And then going into round 2, I just felt like Carlos Prates was going to be able to lose respect to the power of Leon Edwards, push him back, which does happen a lot to Leon Edwards, and land that left hand. And man, out in the open, Leon Edwards, he kind of paused at the jab of Prates. This is like a little detail that I noticed watching the slow motion replay. He controls the lead hand of Prates and he frames away like this. And you see this big gap here. Prates just nuked that left hand down the middle. Leon head bounces off the canvas. Prates follows up, which is very rare to see. Usually Prates walks off, but he did a good job of following up. In the first round, I think he showed some pretty solid grappling defense. He did get taken down, but he managed to control the wrists, get back up, mitigate any sort of damage or submission attempts. And then out in the open, just that pressure, landing good calf kicks, landing some big knees to the body. He started to find his right hook, kind of cuff Leon upside the temple with it. And then, yeah, once he had the range and he knew Leon had his jab hand, it was almost like Leon did the framing for him. You know how Prates, when he fought Radke, he had that lead hand and he was able to set up that knee. It's almost like Leon did that for him. Like Prates knew exactly where he was and he was just able to nuke that straight left down the middle. Brutal finish. I feel kind of bad for Leon, but I am happy that I picked Prates. And now Prates is top 5. You're looking at a top 5 of JDM, Carlos Prates, Michael Morales, Bilal Muhammad, Kamaru Usman, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Gary. This fucking top 7 is insane at welterweight. And all of these guys are so good and they all have these weirdly unique different styles. I'm really excited to looking forward to the next couple of fights that get made at welterweight with the top contenders. But yeah, big knockout win for Carlos Prates on the main card. And then this happened, dude. This was the opener of the card, man. Beneil Dariush. Yes, I picked Beneil Dariush, okay? Laugh it up. Laugh it up, dude. This man's sleeping and you guys are laughing. This guy's still face first on the cam. JDM was grimacing because he slipped over Beneil Dariush's fucking, medication in the octagon. You guys are laughing, dude. Beneil Dariush was winning this fight. I don't care that it was 16 seconds long, okay? Benny put out Beneil Dariush badly, bro. Benoit Saint-Denis got in the pocket, landed a big left hand over the top. It was kind of a grazing chin punch. I think this comes down to BSD, being a marauder, but also it comes down to mainly Beneil Dariush being washed. There's no two ways around it. Like, Beneil Dariush looked washed. He just got nuked by the first punch that actually landed on his chin, and that was the end of it. So BSD wins by knockout. He's moving up the division. All in all, listen, like I said, the main card started off amazing. Those first 3 fights are fucking great. Generational highlights that we'll be rewatching for years to come when we look back on 2025. The main event and co-main event, they are important fights. Like they're relevant fights. We can't just ignore them because they were boring, but I really wish they were more exciting. I wish that they were more competitive, but that just shows how good Islam is and how good Valentina is. But yeah, absolute terrorism of the sport, especially from Valentina. Just one of the worst, most boring fights I've ever fucking seen. And I got to give that same treatment to Islam. JDM, I think Islam was a little bit more aggressive, and I think it came down a little bit more to JDM not being able to get up as opposed to Valentina just smudging Wei Li, not really doing any significant damage. Like, Islam was looking for submissions, but JDM was defending him, and then Islam was just on top of him. He looked for some nice elbows, and he scrambled with him, took his back. He was trying to strike with him a little bit too. So I don't hold it against Islam as much as I hold it against Valentina, but they were both pretty disappointing when you look at the rest of this card. So let's move on though to the prelims. We did very good on the prelims. We went 8-2 on predictions on the prelims, and freaking Bo Nickel, man. Freaking Bo Nickel with a generational head kick knockout. I'm not joking. Rewatch this if you haven't seen it. He flatlined Rodolfo Vieira with a head kick, bro. Bo Nickel is actually back, dude. And all you freaking haters that doubted this kid, what do you have to say now, dude, that he beat the 38-year-old jiu-jitsu guy with no striking? What do you have to say now that he bounced back, dude? What do you have to say now? Exactly nothing. Bo Nickel was out there. He was in Bo State, dude. He was flowing. He was in Bo State. He was landing that Boverhand. He was landing he was just Bova Drive, man. He was just in Bova Drive. He was in Barry on mode. He was just locked in. He was fucking flowing, pumping the jab. Good takedown defense. Vieira tried his best to get those takedowns, but Bo Nickel obviously going to be super hard to take down. Got some control of his own, took down Rodolfo Vieira, almost had a guillotine choke in the first round, and was just piecing him up with the jab, with some nice kicks up top too, landed some right hands, some left hands down the middle. Didn't get to see the Boverhand to the body, unfortunately. We also didn't get to see him eat any knees to the body up against the cage, so that's still a question mark. But otherwise, this was genuinely a good performance from Bo Nickel. I'm sure Rogan and DC were glazing on commentary like nobody's business. In the fight companion, we were dying laughing at like the berries and all this shit. But all jokes aside, listen, Bo Nickel, he did look good in this fight. I think that's what you're supposed to do to a guy like Rodolfo Vieira. When you have the wrestling pedigree and the athleticism of Bo Nickel, he's super fast on the feet. He is kind of clunky and awkward sometimes, but he looked a little bit smoother in the boxing. And you could see in that mid-round 2, he started to get really comfortable and actually land like a jab and, flick out that inside leg kick. And then in round 3, as soon as the crowd starts booing, and I'm not even going to lie, he shut me up too, because I was on the stream talking about, bro, this is getting boring. Like, all right, Bo, let's finish this. Boom! Whips up the head kick, knocks out Rodolfo Vieira badly. We love Bo Nickel. We are all Bo Nickel fans. We are all freaking believing in this guy. He's a freaking next champion, and he's freaking coming for all the haters, dude. Great win for Bo Nickel here to close out the prelims. We got to see Gregory Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov as well. I picked Rodriguez to win this fight by TKO up against the fence, and he did start to take over. Early on, Roman Kopylov got a nice takedown. And I think that was a nice little shift up that Rodriguez wasn't really ready for. But for the most part, I feel like Gregory Rodriguez just pressured Kopylov with nice body shots, and those really slowed him down a little bit. And you just saw that the hands of Kopylov, there's not enough power to kind of deter someone like Rodriguez. I think he is a guy that gets wild, and you can chin him if you have power in the hands. But Kopylov, all of his power comes from the kick. So he landed some nice body kicks. He threw up a couple of good head kicks, but mainly he was on the back foot getting pressured. Rodriguez ripping to the body, looking for some nice right hands. I think he broke his nose at one point. Jesus Christ. Broke his nose at one point with a jab. Not his neck. Jesus Christ. Broke his nose at one point with a jab. Jesus. I'm just mad, bro. JDM fucking lost, dude. But yeah, Gregory Rodriguez, jab. Broke the nose. Nice knees up the middle. Good elbows up against the fence. Second round, Kopylov also tried to take down, but he got reversed with like a submission attempt with a knee bar. That kind of ended the takedown attempts of Roman Kopylov. And then round 3, I think it was a little bit more scrappy, but it was mainly just Rodriguez walking him down, beating him up, ripping to the body. Nothing crazy, not the fight of the night, but, decent performance from Gregory Rodriguez, all right? Next fight of the night, Erin Blanchfield wins by submission against Tracy Cortez. Pretty boring fight to start off. Both of these girls were not super committed on the feet. I think they were both kind of trading 1-2s. Cortez didn't really look for her own wrestling early on. Round 2, things picked up a little bit. Erin Blanchfield managed to get a takedown, and that was where things kind of started to shift a little bit. Ran Tracy Cortez across the cage and locked up a rear naked choke with no hooks in. Pretty rare to see an MMA kind of side on, locking up that left arm under the neck, dropping for the choke, dropping to the side, and Cortez was kind of bent over backwards and had to tap. So pretty boring fight back and forth, but Erin Blanchfield with a good finish here over someone that, has a bit of name value, that's rising up the division. The UFC wants Cortez to be fighting for the fucking belt. They want the super fight of Dern versus Cortez, double champ status on the line. But Erin Blanchfield goes out there. I think she just out-hustled her too. I think that was the biggest thing here. She just, in the scramble, she was just more aggressive. She was more aggressive on the feet. She landed a little bit more damage in close, more significant strikes. So, good performance from Blanchfield. Fuck, dude. I just remembered Valentina's the champion. So, I guess Blanchfield versus Valentina, but fuck, dude. Fight of the absolute night. Thank God that this fight happened. Ethan Ewing gets the win by decision against Malcolm Wellmaker. Now, I'm going to take credit for this. I'm going to take this pick as a correct one because I picked Cody Haddon to win by decision against Malcolm Wellmaker, and this is exactly what I said would happen. Ethan Ewing, the Giga Chad blockhead this guy is, if you haven't seen this guy's face, he's like Drew Dober Jr. over here. Just goes out there, and I think he just saw what Malcolm Wellmaker has shown in his other fights, where he has big, looping right hooks. Wellmaker started off southpaw as opposed to starting out orthodox and switching to set up the finish. He started out very aggressive from southpaw, leading with that lead hand, trying to find that big right hand in close. Ewing did a good job defensively in the pocket. He had a nasty chin as well. He ate some nasty shots and was totally fine. He landed a nice head kick early on Malcolm Wellmaker. Wellmaker did drop him for a split second. I don't think it was a full-blown knockdown. Ewing just kind of overextended with a combo. Wellmaker caught him with a right hook, and that probably swayed him the first round, but I wouldn't be mad at giving the first round to Ewing as well. He was a lot more accurate in the boxing and just a lot more like high output. You can kind of see the significant strike and total strike numbers there. Ewing would go in combination. Malcolm Wellmaker was looking for one shot at a time, mainly that right hook, and Ewing was slipping, mixing in some takedown attempts when he needed to. I think that was a smart little adjustment. Later on in the fight, we saw Malcolm Wellmaker trying to wrestle, but for the majority, this was Ewing making Wellmaker miss, landing some nice combos, some nice left hooks, some nice double jabs to find Wellmaker, and then landing the right hook, the right uppercut, the left hook, when Wellmaker was going into that Philly shell. Wellmaker did land some nice shots. He had some good kicks. He threw up some nasty right hooks, some nice, he attempted some really big uppercuts as well. He was trying to get a finish late in this fight, but he just couldn't find Ewing, and Ewing was a lot more accurate and a lot more high output. Like I said, I think the jab was really the difference here. And that's what I said in the predictions, man. Nobody's tried to wrestle Wellmaker. Nobody throws a fucking jab at this guy. And surprise, surprise, this guy comes in with a really clean right hand down the middle as well, and uses his jab to find Wellmaker defensively, put him on the back foot, expose that he's, a little bit one-dimensional with the Philly shell, land that left hook, land some body shots, push him back, and flick up that lead side head kick as well. Wellmaker did a good job attacking the body as well. I do want to give him credit for that. But yeah, that was mainly it. It was Ewing being more accurate, scrapping in the pocket. This was a banger fight back and forth. I definitely recommend hitting this one with a fucking watch MMA full recap. Just rewatching it. It was a fucking banger. But yeah, man, these prelims were pretty fucking good in moments. Kyle Dorcas versus GM3. I'm sorry, dude. This looked rigged. This looked rigged, bro. This looked rigged, bro. GM3 literally did not land a single fucking strike. I don't even believe that he threw a strike. I don't actually believe these numbers that he threw a strike. GM3 literally just stood there, got chinned, fell to his side, and got Darce choked immediately. And that is exactly what we all knew was going to happen. But it somehow looked worse than I even imagined. Like, as soon as GM3 got put in the Darce, he wasn't even out. His eyes were literally open. He reaches up to tap. Herb Dean starts checking his hand anyways. Like, he's like, I know this guy's not even going to try to get out. Let me just let him fake going out cold or something. But GM3 taps. Very easy, nothing win from Kyle Dorcas here. The less said, the better. Pat Sabatini, Chepe Mariscal, they had a pretty high-paced fight. Back and forth, scrambly. Pat Sabatini kind of out-grappled him here. Got the takedowns, got the back control. And Mariscal had some good moments, good reversals, good scrambles, landed some good shots on the feet. But it was a Pat Sabatini fight. He just got that control, especially in the third round. He really took over. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, pretty high-paced fight. Fatima Klein, actually a really good performance. I'm not going to shit on this and say it was boring because it was WMMA. This was actually a really good performance. This was the best WMMA fight by a mile on this card. Easily. Fatima Klein looked really good in this fight, dude. She looked really good. She got takedowns of her own. She landed big elbows. She was looking for damage. She was beating up Angela Hill on the feet, landing her right hand, looking for that head kick on the lead side, just like she was doing in her other fights where she's got that finish. And Angela Hill toughed it out. She tried to fluke it in round 3, God bless, but Fatima Klein wins by unanimous decision. Very good performance against a certified gatekeeper of the division. So good win for Fatima Klein. Suzakayev, pretty boring fight. Just kind of went out there fucking around, making it competitive with McConaughey. Gets the round 3 knockout. Not very impressive. I think Bo Nickel beats this guy. I know he called out Bo Nickel. This was a very nothing performance. Like, he just fucked around on the feet. Threw some nice body kicks, like we said. Couldn't really get the takedowns as easily as we thought he would. He, got some dumps, and then McConaughey would get straight back up. And then Suzakayev gets the knockout in round 3. Nothing to write home about. I think this guy is literally losing to Bo Nickel in his next fight. I want to see if he gets that, all right? And Mateus Camilo beat Vyacheslav Borshev by decision. Very close fight. I think he got the control time to win this one. I thought he took back the third round. He was kind of losing, landed some big shots. But yeah, all in all, listen, man, this card could have been something generational, but I think it will go down as like, oh, okay, it was like a decent MSG card. Remember that time Islam became double champ? That's kind of it. Like, that's really it. I think that the knockouts will live on from this main card, but all in all, we could have had a generational pay-per-view with Weili Zhang sobbing Valentina. I'm happy, thank you. JDM sleeping Islam Makhachev, but it is what it is, dude. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. By the way, I'm sorry to the people that were there at the stream. My internet just fucking died. I would have given you my 25-minute reaction of me just sitting there like this, watching JDM Islam, but my Wi-Fi fucking died. You guys were there if you saw it. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that came to the stream. That was a sick time watching the fights with you guys. And yeah, man, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. I will see you guys in the next video, man. This one fucking hurts, dude. Goodbye, man.